fine. You couldn't go into River Plate and wear a Red Bull jersey. They'd beat the shit out of you, right? Okay,
or a Boca, man.
Okay, so I understand that. Right. But what's happened is a lot of the guys are season ticket holders. They've sold their tickets online, right? Yeah. Which people are buying them for $500, $600.
Yeah, I saw the price $313 and up.
Right, right. So let's just say some guy, Argentinian guy, right? He pays $600 for a ticket. He's never been to Rebel Arena before. He goes out and has a few beers in the parking lot, comes into the stadium, goes in and says, "Excuse me, you can't go in that section with a message." Can you imagine what's going to happen?
What did they give you guys a reason as to why that was?
Yeah, no. Because it's a supported Rebel supporter section, so nobody's allowed to wear any message.
Oh, in the support, okay.
The supporter section.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, a lot of people have sold their tickets. So listen, here's this guy, 26-year-old, Argentinian, full of beer, comes in with his Messi jersey, and the security says, "Excuse me, you can't go in there because you're wearing a Messi jersey." He's going to go fucking crazy.
Of course he will.
He's going to go fucking nuts. He said, "You crazy? I paid $600 for this ticket. And he ain't fucking stopped." And this little old guy in the back there, security, is going to call the police. And it's going to be absolute shit show. Now, I know the head of security, right? They're already putting another barrier. There's the wall, then there's the field. So they're going to put another metal barrier between the field, and they're putting state troopers with dogs on the support section. Because when Messi comes out, they all run on the field. All these idiots run on the field.
That's true.
Right? That's true. And the state, normally it's a misdemeanor trespass. They're upping it to a felony assault or whatever. If they touch him, it's assault. These guys are going to go. Especially if they have a few beers.
Forget about it. Yeah, no, these guys are gonna go nuts. I think that game is the 28th of August.
I stand in the front row, right behind the goal, on the front row seat, and I know there's gonna be people jumping all over, trying to get to the. And then the other problem I had, this is the biggest problem I had. You don't think they're gonna call the referees and say, "Hey, look after our guys. Make sure they don't kick it. Make sure they don't trip it." The referees, they're gonna protect him. Because he's the MLS, he's the face of MLS. They protected Beckham, they protected Henry. So now the integrity of the game is gone, right? Because he's getting the calls. Calls going against him. No, he's getting all the and you go in. It's a yellow card against him. I'm just waiting for some rookie, some USL level defender, going in and tackle and bang. Somebody on $60,000 a year. $60,000 a year, MLS defender, would be going against somebody who's making $10 million a year, and he breaks his freaking ankle.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can definitely see that being a thing. I'd like to, I would hope that they keep the integrity of the game regardless.
They won't. When David Beckham came, the first 6 games, he was hacked to death. Yeah. Hacked to death, and then he missed 3 months because of injury. They kicked the shit out of him. And when he came back, something's different here. What's different? The referees were told, "Hey, protect this guy. He's our league. He's the MLS player." Yeah. Same with Henry. Whenever Henry came, Henry didn't play on turf. Right. He didn't play on turf either. Okay. He played on turf once up in Montreal for a cup semi-final game or something. Right. He only played 30 minutes. He said it's the worst thing he's ever done.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I feel like I can recall that comment being made.
But Henry and Beckham, I admire them because they didn't come here to retire. They came here to play. I mean, Beckham played 6 years, won 2 championships. He was the face of MLS. He did more for MLS than anyone else. Right? Henry played well.
No, Henry played. I was gonna say Henry.
But he didn't have the high profile that David Beckham had. Right.
Right. No, he didn't. He was kind of low key, but he was kind of the guy that would come in and just do his thing, kind of, low key.
He made everybody around him better. Right. Bradley Wright Phillips, I know him very well. I sit with him sometimes. He's told me many, many times. He said, "I would have never scored 25 goals in a year without Bradley, without Henry."
Listen, that was one of the year, I think it was 15-16. With the entire squad that you guys had, from the goalie over to oh my god.
And you know what? Henry said you should have scored 50 because he said you missed more than you scored.
He was a nightmare to play. I remember that year was one of the best years they've had. I mean, it was promising that they would take the cup that year.
Some of the passes that Henry was putting on
amazing.
And then some of the goals too, but some of the passing and stuff. And And it took a while for the players around him to understand, you know, run into the space. You run into the spaces, he'll get you the ball. Don't worry about running with the ball. Run without the ball. Right? You know, he had the vision. You know, the guy's here, and Henry's here, and the pass will come like this. And this guy hasn't gone. I didn't know you're passing me. Don't worry, just go to the space, and all of a sudden they're catching up with the ball, and they just go behind the defender.
Right.
And all the attacking had to do was just tap it in, you know. And then they started, and then the way he would come in to the 18, come in and open his body, and with his right foot from the left hand side, with his right foot shoot to the bottom right hand corner of the goal.
Always.
He would open his body and shoot. Unbelievable.
Honestly, Bradley Wright Phillips was one of the most underrated players. He didn't have a lot of shine to him.
Nobody had heard of Bradley Wright Phillips. He was playing in the second division in England, right? They took a gamble. Red Bull didn't know what he was going to do, and when he first came, he sucked the first season.
Yeah.
Very good. But then it all changed. Right? Why? Because
he was NYCFC nightmare. I remember that.
Every time we played him.
I was on the I think 7-0 game.
I was there.
What a match, man.
We could have scored 10.
You know, listen, I think you hit the guys hit the bar once, and then
Max missed one real close one, and Grella missed a close one.
Oh, Grella, yes. I don't know how after that year they let
Lampard and the other guy Solo, they took him off at halftime. The fans were booing him.
Yeah, I remember. No, I was there too, front row and center for that match. That match I was front row and center.
That was the second best game, second best Red Bull game ever.
Yeah.
When we played Beckham the first time at Giant Stadium.
That was against who?
61,000.
Okay.
And you know, everybody was there to see Beckham, right?
Okay.
Welcome back to Montclair State University, the home of today's Eastern Regional Semifinals. Earlier today, it was Westchester United defeating Annapolis Blues by a score of 4-0. Now, the focus shifts to game number 2 of the day here from Montclair, New Jersey, at Montclair State University. I'm Charlie Brooks, bringing you this afternoon and this evening's games live on 11 Sports. Thanks to FC Motown and 11 Sports for sponsoring these two games, as the NPSL East Region now has its second semifinal, as the number 1 seed FC Motown hosts the number 4 seed in Hartford City FC. Motown finished the regular season with a 8-0-2 record. There are only 2 games which they dropped points. Were a 1-1 draw here against Atlantic City and a 0-0 draw at Atlantic City. They made up for that though when they played AC 1 week ago. They beat them 3-0, all 3 goals coming in extra time. It was a matter of when and not if Motown were going to score that night. It might be the same tonight, but they're being faced by a Hartford City FC team which did not win their conference regular season in the North Atlantic. They lost in the North Atlantic regular season, 6 points behind the Kingston Stockade, but they got revenge last Saturday when they beat Kingston Stockade by 2-1, both goals coming in extra time, as well as Kingston's goal, the one that they conceded, also scored in extra time. So both of these teams had 3 goals in extra time on Saturday. Now, what can they do on this Friday? They know who their opponent will be if they win today. Otherwise, you're going home and your season is over. Will it be Motown? A chance to go back to the regional finals for the 2nd straight year and continue their national championship defense? Or will it be Hartford City playing spoilers for the 2nd straight week? And Hartford City would make their first regional final. Of course, both of these 2 teams played in the 2021 NPSL East Regionals. That was hosted at the home of FC Baltimore Christos, now just Christos FC. That team no longer plays in the NPSL, just USL League 2, so no Christos to worry about. That year, Motown played the Georgia Revolution in the semifinals. They won that game, and Hartford City that year played as the 4 seed against the hosts in Baltimore Christos. They lost, so it was Motown Christos that year. Motown, they're looking for their 3rd straight regional final. They have the experience it takes, but will they be pushed to their limits again by Hartford? Let's focus first on Hartford, the 5-3-2 record this season. They had to go through a conference semifinal and conference final last week. They won their conference semi at home against the New York Shockers 2-1. Goals that game by McGonigal and Osiecki. And then, of course, as I mentioned, an extra time victory over the Kingston Stockade. Goals that day by Henry Hamilton and Matthew McGonigal. So 2 goals in 2 games this postseason for McGonigal. He's your player to watch for Hartford, especially seeing that Henry Hamilton is not in the starting lineup and is not even rostered for Hartford City today. A tough trip down from Connecticut. A tough part of the season, especially for college players, as they start to gear back up for college season. We'll get through more of the starting lineups after this, but first, national anthem coming up as the 2 teams walk out onto the field. Motown, Hartford City, coming up right after this. And we are just about ready now for opening kickoff between Motown and Hartford City FC live on 11 Sports. I'm Charlie Brooks. As we are just about ready, let's walk through the starting lineups first for the visitors, Hartford City FC, and it's a very different lineup than the one that played in the conference final against Kingston Stockade in their last game. When you look at their lineup, it is up top, or starting from the back, actually. Jameis Fight in net with a back three of Griffin Thomas, Matthew McGonigal, and Mark Grant. A midfield three of Owen Guglielmino, Jake Williams, and Patrick Osiecki. And the front three of Evan Southern, Kieran Chandler, Larson Richards. And then you also have Nathan Betcher in the lineup today for Hartford City. Amongst the crowd missing from their conference final last Saturday, no Christian Dion, no Evan Jones, no Henry Hamilton, no Ronan O'Brien, no Will Cleary, and no Diego Zaffanella. So that is a huge chunk of their starting lineup from the Kingston Stockade game not here. Meanwhile, for the host FC Motown, it is a pretty similar lineup with just two changes from their win over the Atlantic City. In net, Dave Greshek, the always reliable goalkeeper. He'll start with a back four of Jean Voltaire, and they change with Mike Defont in at center back. And Sammy Pompey retains his place. Max Barbodo slots in on the other side at left back. In the midfield, it's the same three as against Atlantic City, with Danny Cordero, Joe Holland, and Samuel Niashidi Chris Lemma still on the bench for Motown. And one change up top for Motown is Franco Catania and Joe Fala are joined by Chris Bermudez tonight. Of course, this could be game one of two this weekend for either of these two sides. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. will be the final. And now that we've read through the starting lineups, let's just take a moment to thank the Motown sponsors for helping put together this game. 1776 by David Burke, as well as Premier Nursing Care and Orthopedic Institute of New Jersey. Thank you to those three Motown sponsors, as well as all FC Motown sponsors throughout the years for helping them put this product out on the field and bring the great game of soccer to Motown and Morristown, New Jersey. Motown wearing their green jerseys with the black and white as well. The nice new kits this season for FC Motown. Meanwhile, Hartford City wearing their white jerseys. They have some green as well in their jersey, mainly on the sleeves though. Two teams that wear the color green, but which will be the lucky green? The Hartford City supporters group has made the trip down the short way from Connecticut to New Jersey. They're ready. So are the players. Opening kickoff thanks to Joe Fala and FC Motown, as Fala will start things off with Danny Cordero, the player receiving the opening kick. So you wonder how Motown's backline will fare with no Hermanos Actor-Campos on the bench, as well as Zach Perez, who were the changes. Ball over the top, just couldn't find Holland. Joe Holland was named amongst all conference selections pretty recently, as this one is taken away by Motown, and it's Max Barbodo who will start the play from the back. Barbodo, a American East first team player this past year. Atlantic City, he came off the bench against and he made some big plays. As that ball is claimed by Dave Greshek, who will quickly restart and follow, will head on, but won't be picked up by Holland. Nice first touch by Samuel Niashidi, who retains his spot in midfield. Bermudez up towards Fala, and he's dispossessed. Almost a great ball, but Jean Voltaire takes care. And Catania suffers the first foul of the game. Definitely an interesting matchup between these two. Motown, who pretty much cruised in the regular season, had some issues against just one side in their conference. Meanwhile, Hartford, they finished 5-3-2, but it was mainly due to a stretch in June where they went 0-3-1. They had 3 losses in 4 games. As here's a ball down to Fala. Fala in the corner. I'll cross towards the top of the 18, and no one was there. But Ashidi will settle it. He has a couple of options. Player goes down. There will be no call, but Motown has it on the edge of the box. Bermudez, the shot, the goal! We had a 3rd-minute goal in the first game of the semifinals. And it's a 3rd-minute goal for FC Motown. Chris Bermudez goals in back-to-back games. Motown are up 1-0. Joe Holland with a great flick over assist. And Chris Bermudez, for the 2nd straight game in the postseason, is on the score sheet. It took until extra time in the 105th minute against Atlantic City. This time takes just 3 minutes. Is there a response from Hartford City as that ball will go out for just a goal kick? I mean, how ironic is that as well, that we had a 3rd-minute goal in the first game, and you almost think you can't have a start that quick in the second game as well, and then it's the same exact minute with the opening goal in each of the East Region semifinals. Westchester ended up cruising to a 4-0 victory. Is this the first of many for Motown, or is this just the first? And that's all that Hartford will allow, is Voltaire's ball looking for a teammate, and it could not reach Catania. Mike DeFont throwing his whole body at that one to retain possession. That's a bad turnover. Nathan Betcher. And now it ends up on the foot of Jake Williams. Williams finds a teammate, and no call. Referee says not enough contact for a penalty as Evan Southern went down. Referee immediately waved that one off. Not enough contact, either that or no contact. Couldn't exactly tell, but either way, it is still Motown 1-0 as they're on the ball, and Barbodo has it tackled off. Wearing the captain's armband for Hartford City today is Mark Grant, the number 21. Cordero to Barbodo. He was looking for Catania, but not able to pull that off, and Mark Grant sends Jake Williams the ball looking for Southern, and it doesn't get there. Southern, a James Madison redshirt senior, had 4 goals in 2022 and was a North Atlantic Conference starting 11 selection by the fans. As that whistle is due to referee interference. He completely messed up the ability for Joe Holland to get to the ball, so blowing the whistle to allow a drop ball. Chris Bermudez, if you have not watched Motown this summer, as he's offside this time, he's a former New York Red Bulls Academy player. He's played in both the USL League One as well as the USL Championship. and he's had a fantastic summer with FC Motown. Goals in each of his games against the Jackson Lions, who were the 3 seed in the Keystone East this year, as well as a brace against the Philly Union Development Squad, and an extra time brace against Atlantic City in the last game. There's a reason he's a former pro, as this ball is looking for Jake Williams, although Voltaire will body it off. That one mishit. And it's a recovery by the Hartford City player that sends it back to his goalie, although his clearance wasn't great. Motown had it for a second, but cleared away by the number 24. Of Mark Guglielmello. Mike DeFont looking for a run from Sammy Pompey. Pompey gets there, and that will go off of the Motown man for a goal kick. Of course, as I mentioned in the first game, if you're unaware of this park, this is MSU Soccer Park on the campus of Montclair State University, home to the MSU Hawks, a Division III school, as well as this is the home of New York Red Bulls 2, formerly of the USL Championship, now of MLS Next Pro, and also a field that New York Red Bulls senior team has used a couple of times for the US Open Cup instead of Red Bull Arena. So this is a well-used field in Montclair, New Jersey, and this summer it's the home of FC Motown, as Southern fouled Mike DeFont. Much of this summer, this was home of Motown due to a turf renovation at Drew University in Madison, which is the normal home of Motown, but even with that project done, Motown are still playing here in the NPSL. Reigning national champions. They won the national championship game last summer here at Montclair State. They're looking to do the same this summer, as Fala is looking for Holland, and Guglielmino tackled it away. He's obviously slotted into one of the center back positions as Motown get it back. Samuel Niashidi. He'll have to go backwards. Hartford fans may know the name of Samuel Niashidi. He played in the USL Championship with Hartford Athletic. Of course, the team that share the same town. One plays in the NPSL, one in the USL Championship. And Ashidi has experience with the USL Championship side. Mark Grant goes down, and the delayed whistle foul is called by the referee. Guglielmino restarting play, getting the ball upfield, and it's Hartford City on the attack. Ball in, Southern chests it down, but it was too far away from him, and Voltaire boots it away. So the first good attack from Hartford City, but Motown able to deal with the danger once again. Just cleaning that ball up. Some good plays by Kieran Chandler, the number 8 for Hartford City, in quick succession. If you're just joining us, a third-minute goal by Chris Bermudez, his third in 2 games, has opened the scoring for FC Motown against Hartford City FC in the NPSL East Region semifinals. A matchup to decide who will play Westchester United tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Barbodo going up against Jake Williams. Williams wins the battle, and it falls to Southern. His back heel flick, no one was there. Good recovery, though, by Mark Grant. Williams again, back heel flick. The overlapping run. Ball in. Voltaire clears, conceding the corner. That was Matthew McGonigal crossing that ball in. The agents of Hale hoping they can see a goal scored in front of them. Of course, that's the supporter group of Hartford City. Short corner. The shot. Side netting from Southern. Motown, their 8-0-2 record, just good enough to host the East Region. There was a 1-point difference between Motown and Annapolis, and that was due to an Annapolis loss on the last day of the regular season. They lost earlier today against Westchester United, who dominated from start to finish. This game, at least starting off, has been more even, although Motown have the early goal. Jake Williams goes down, no call from the referee. And Joe Follow trying to come the other way. But Joe Holland couldn't exactly find him. Sun is going down, which means the weather's getting a little bit better. It was in the mid-80s for the first regional semifinal. We had the hydration breaks in both halves. Not sure exactly if we'll get a hydration break in this game or not, but the shade has pretty much overtaken the whole field. And with the shade usually means a little bit of relief from the humidity in the weather as Williams takes down Cordero. Bermudez can't handle it. And here comes the visitors. See what they can do on the counter as Williams settles, but double teamed. He can't hold it. Just like Westchester, Motown can press you and double team you very well. Run you into a bad position. It's the reason why they're reigning national champions. And they've retained a whole chunk of their squad from last year's postseason run, which saw them win the Keystone in penalties and win a couple of more games. Ball up to Fala. Forced to the outside, so he goes backwards so he can get back in the box. Although it's tackled right off of Barbodo, who commits the foul. Postseason wins last year for Motown over Westchester. They had the regional semifinal win over the New York Shockers here at MSU. Then they beat Appalachian in the regional final. They went to Tulsa and they beat Tulsa Athletic in the national semis, and then Crossfire Redmond came here and lost. That was the first national championship for FC Motown in the NPSL. Always exciting when you can play in front of your home crowd as well. a decent crowd has made it out for tonight's Friday night matchup. I'm sure if Motown are playing Saturday tomorrow night, there'll be even more fans as Joe Falla in the corner. Goes back to Pompey. Pompey's cross towards Catania, but it's claimed by Jameis Fight. Haven't mentioned him yet, the Loyola University of Chicago redshirt sophomore. This will be his first year there. He spent the last two at the University of Michigan in the Big Ten, but he didn't play with the Wolverines. He's looking for more game time. The only goal he conceded in the conference final game was in extra time, but today a third-minute goal conceded. Bermudez making another good run. The touch, top of the box, takes the shot, it's blocked. Still in the box though, with Bermudez. Sends it up, follow the header! That's too easy, folks! Bermudez put that one on a dinner plate for Joe Falla. And for a player of that height, they will eat from the headers. Nothing that Fight could do there. As the score is 2-0 Motown in the 18th minute. That is obviously unmissable territory, especially for a forward of Joe Falla's quality. Former Division III star, spending his third summer with FC Motown. So what can Hartford City do now, trailing 2-0 on the road? Two goals in just under 20 minutes for the reigning national champions. And a chance for a rematch tomorrow night against their former Keystone Conference rivals in Westchester United if they hold on the rest of this game. Still 70 minutes, so there's a lot left to go. But you have to be happy the way they've started. Holland and Ashidi. The focus just holding on to possession at times for Motown, and it's developing from there. Backheel pass by Catania, or by Holland to Catania, but it was too far for him to retrieve. That's a foul called against Voltaire as Williams went to the ground. As I mentioned, about 6 players from the starting lineup in their conference final missing tonight for Hartford City FC, so you can't blame them too much. They're trying as hard as they can, especially without their star player in Henry Hamilton. Hamilton, a huge piece of their midfield this summer, as Cordero couldn't hold on to the ball, and Hartford City a chance to build through midfield. Battle in midfield, it's won by Evan Southern for Hartford City. Motown getting numbers back. Southern waiting for reinforcements, and that comes in the ilk of Mark Grant, although his ball only finds Greshek. Great restart from Greshek up towards Fala, but couldn't win the second ball. That's exactly what you want to do, though, if you're Motown, utilizing the height of Joe Fala, as Barbodo missed the ball, but offside was Evan Southern. Argument being made by the Hartford City players that Barbodo had played the ball, so that should have overruled the offside, but it's a moot point in the end, as the referee had made his decision. Bermudez now commits the foul. So Chris Bermudez, a goal and an assist in the first 20 minutes. The difference so far. His second straight game, he's been the impact player for FC Motown. Didn't even start against Atlantic City, by the way. I didn't mention that. He came off the bench against Atlantic City and scored the 2 extra time goals. Rewarded with a start, and he has rewarded Motown. This ball taken by Larson Richards. Richards trying to find Southern, and Southern was offside again. Back-to-back offside calls against Evan Southern. Really the main threat for Hartford City tonight, with the players missing. Always going to be tough against a veteran side like FC Motown, especially on the road, where Motown are undefeated at home this season. Just a 1-1 draw against Atlantic City when they were missing their starting goalkeeper and Joe Fala as well that night, as Fala takes the shot off target. Yeah, those points dropped by Motown here against Atlantic City. That was around Memorial Day weekend, and Motown had a couple of players missing, including Joe Fala and Dave Greshek. The biggest pieces they were missing that night, and of course when they've been in the squad, Motown has been near untouchable. Especially with Greshek. 5 clean sheets in 11 games this season, and most of those with Greshek in net as the ball's pulled back. And Pompey will take that ball and start the ball upfield with Chris Bermudez again. Catania waited a little bit too long as McGonigal finds Southern. This time he is onside. Southern's ball over everybody's head, and it's Pompey who settles. That's a foul against Joe Fala. We've played 26 minutes of the first half. Motown 2, Hartford City FC 0 in this second game of the NPSL East Region semifinals from Montclair State University. A 4-0 victory for Westchester United was the starter of this doubleheader. Motown the second game, and it's been almost the same story as it was in the first. Player goes down, not enough contact. And we play on. That was Nathan Betcher that went down, the Hartford junior. Foul there. If you're curious about what that is on the field, right where that foul is, that is confetti that was left by the Annapolis Blues supporters group. They set off some confetti and flares after the first game, and here at MSU there's no cleanup crew or such in between games, so you still see that blue confetti sitting on the field from the Bay Boys earlier this afternoon. Motown coached by Gideon Ba as well as Aaron Weaver. Gideon Ba, the former New York Red Bulls defender. He's in his second year as head coach of FC Motown, replacing Sachi Hot last summer. And replacing him by just, winning a national championship in year one. Looking to repeat in year number 2. There's still a lot of good teams in the NPSL, including the team that they could play tomorrow if they hold on. Although one of the top teams in the NPSL in Duluth FC were knocked out already in their conference final. So crazy things have happened in the NPSL before. But Motown hoping the crazy does not happen to them, as Bermudez has Pompey with him, but underhit it. Defont. That was just a smart play to go back to Greshak, who had a lot of time to settle it. Not in a rush like Defont was. Offside flag up against Catania now. Hartford City are looking to avoid the same fate they had in 2021 when they were the 4 seed in that regional tournament, losing to the hosts Baltimore Christos that day. Not the start they envisioned, but settling into this game little bit by little bit, and Evan Southern has put some pressure on FC Motown. That's a foul. Right in midfield. Committed by Sammy Pompey. "31st minute. A 3rd-minute goal by Chris Bermudez and an 18th minute goal by Joe Falla. The difference if you're just joining us. A lot of soccer going on this Friday afternoon, including the Leagues Cup expected debut of Lionel Messi tonight. 9 p.m. you have the U.S. Women's National Team playing their World Cup opener against Vietnam. I'm sure a lot of fans will be going straight home after this to watch the USA-Vietnam game in the Women's World Cup. It's a great time of year as well, with the European teams coming to the US for preseason. But the focus tonight, the NPSL and the East Region semifinal. As the foul is committed by Mike Defont that time. I mentioned the 0-3-1 stretch for Hartford City in the middle of the season. They did finish on a high note. 3 wins in their last 4 games. And a tie as well that came against the conference champions. As they're on the attack now, the ball saved by Greshek. A 1-on-1 save made by Dave Greshek to keep it 2-0. And the Hartford City player cannot believe that he didn't finish it. That was Evan Southern, who's put so much pressure on Motown so far. Price should have made it 2-1. Another short corner. McGonigal gives it back. The cross in, and it's stopped by Joe Falla. And Samuel Niyashidi will just allow Motown to get it out of danger. Back in the danger zone, though. Motown struggling at the current moment to keep Hartford City away. McGonigal. Better service. And whiffed. Although, because of the whiff by Southern, it results in a corner kick. Southern was very frustrated and kicked the ball away. But now realizing that they won a corner kick because it last went off of Jean Voltaire. Another short corner. And the service in is headed away that time by Pompey. Ball back in. Wide open is Williams. Williams stopped the first time. Not stopped the second. Hartford almost denied another great goal-scoring opportunity, but they do finish. And it's Jake Williams, the High Point Junior. Williams somehow found himself wide open. His original shot was saved by Greshek. But then when Williams got the second chance, he made it 2-1. And Motown still have the lead. But now they know there's a fight in their visitors. No clean sheet for FC Motown tonight. Thanks to Jake Williams. Originally from New Zealand, talking about the Women's World Cup earlier. A New Zealand player for Hartford City. Of course, New Zealand had that big upset to start the tournament on the Women's World Cup side. So I'm sure he was a little bit happy as a New Zealander. And very happy as a New Zealander to get on the board himself. Looking for Southern, overhit it, though. As Williams is looking to do exactly what Bermudez did. Score and then become provider right after. Southern takes it away from Niyashidi. Makes Voltaire miss for a moment. And then Voltaire recovers. Nice blocked shot by Voltaire. Motown go the other way. Catania goes down, no call. And Falla gives it away. That was gifted right to the Hartford City player in Griffin Thomas. So now some momentum on Hartford City's side. Under 10 minutes until halftime, and I guess advantage was played in that situation, and the referee decided that it was instead going to be a free kick since the advantage was not utilized. "37th minute. And the 35th minute goal by Jake Williams cut the lead in half. Ball was looking for Fala, instead headed away by Larson Richards, the Eastern Connecticut State senior, who's playing center back alongside the number 24 of Guglielmino. Guglielmino heads that one away. Ball bouncing around, almost found a Motown player. That was a foul committed by Hartford City. The Agents of Hale have gone a little bit louder since that opening goal for Hartford City. They were silenced early on by Motown, but the drums are beating, the chants are going, and the Agents of Hale are hoping that their side can find an equalizer tonight. A lot of shoving currently as the referee came over to talk to a couple of players. McGonigal definitely has a couple of inches. He's trailing against FC Motown's Joe Fala. So it's an interesting battle between the two. When you have Fala standing over McGonigal and they're still going at it with each other. Play will restart. Voltaire got a little head on it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. So Jameis fight to restart after what looked like could have developed into a chance for Motown. 6 minutes away plus stoppage time from halftime. And you wonder if Motown wants to get there rather than Hartford City wanting to get into the half. Interestingly, Bermudez has been effectively shut down for the last 20 minutes since that assist to Joe Fala that made it 2-0. Maybe Hartford City have adjusted their defense, or at least their strategy a little bit after going behind 2-0. The only player in the attack that hasn't really been mentioned much is Franco Catania, as Catania was in a battle with McGonigal and Motown come the other way. Franco Catania. There's a lot of jersey pulling, and eventually it's a foul called against the visitors. It was jersey pulling both ways, but because Catania was on the ball, I think that's why it went the direction it did. Pompey. His cross, no one at the top of the 18. Defont. His ball cleared, I should say. Ball back towards Fala. Heads it on for Catania. Back to Fala, edge of the box. And it's cleared away by one of the last men back for Hartford City. And they'll go on the counter. Williams finds a teammate. Ball into the box. And the attacker falling down couldn't hold possession. Catania finds a ball for a teammate. Holland cleared away right at the penalty spot by number 6 of Griffin Thomas. This game has become a little bit more even since the start, as Voltaire went down after he got the ball away. Holland making a couple of moves, gets around the defender. The ball around, still bouncing and cleared away. A couple of balls just waiting for someone to pounce on it, and no one has. As now Thomas has to clear that one away for a corner. Looking for a new ball is the referee, as I think the other one went out of play. We've now got 2 balls coming over, so one has to be put behind the net. I think everyone's ready now for the corner kick. This is where you're looking for a player like Joe Fala to make himself big, maybe draw attention away from others. As the looping ball headed, Voltaire cleared away before Voltaire could hit it. Ball back into the box. Joe Fala takes it down. Fala puts it over the crossbar. Leaning backwards. Could not control that one. It was a great idea, a great service back in. But Fala was reaching for that ball, leaning backwards. And that's why he could not put it on target. Especially with the outcoming goalie of Fight. So we're about 20 seconds away from hitting 45 played on the clock. Motown up 2-1. Their lead cut in half by Jake Williams. Franco Catania. And he was held, so that'll be a free kick for Motown. Nathan Betcher, he was the player that committed that foul, as there's still some chances for Motown. Ball in, but Fight claims and will start a counter-attack, although overthrowing it. The right idea, but not the execution, as Evan Southern did not have the speed needed. Stoppage time of the first half, with the hosts FC Motown leading Hartford City by a score of 2-1. We should have a little bit of stoppage time, but not much, as Holland could not find Fala. Southern will not reach that ball as Grashek boots it away. Evan Southern living on the shoulders of the Motown defenders. Picks up this ball. Went down flamboyantly, but no call. Southern still down behind the play, just a little upset, but as Motown were on the counter, the halftime whistle blows. And FC Motown have a 2-1 lead over Hartford City FC in the second game of the Eastern Regional Semifinals, live from Montclair State University. Westchester United, the team watching and seeing who they will play tomorrow. But as of right now, it would be Motown. But there's still plenty of soccer to go. Stay right here on 11 Sports. I'm Charlie Brooks. We'll be right back. Second half action. Motown 2, Hartford City 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to tonight's presentation of the MPSL East Region Semifinals. Game number 2 of the night between FC Motown and Hartford City FC. And after one half, 2-1 FC Motown lead. But it has been a very interesting matchup between these two. First 20 or so minutes dominated by FC Motown, but then a 35th minute goal for Hartford City FC, and it has them right back in this game. Motown's goals by Chris Bermudez and Joe Fala, and Hartford City their goal by Jake Williams. All sets up for what should be a very appealing second half between these two for a shot at an Eastern Regional Final tomorrow. Motown, this would be their third straight regional where they've made a final if they can hold on. They did so in 2021, beating Georgia Revolution. They did so last year, beating New York Shockers to reach a regional final, and then beating Appalachian in the regional final. And this year, if they win this regional semi, they have a former Keystone Conference foe in Westchester United waiting on the other side. All those storylines and more to watch as this game goes on. Hartford 5-3-2 in the regular season, 2-1 winners in their conference final in extra time. Motown 8-0-2 this season with a 3-0 extra time victory in their conference final last Saturday. And it's all resulted in a pretty evenly matched game in the end. Motown going left to right in this half, Hartford going right to left. Motown wearing their green, white, and black jerseys. Hartford, the white jerseys with green on the sleeves. So it will be the visitors to kick us off for half number 2. Can they find the equalizer? Or will it be Motown going to the regional final tomorrow? Pompey with the first header clearing away after the quick ball sent upfield by Hartford City. Ball sent back by Griffin Thomas. Ball to the outside. Hartford City, the cross in. Although that was overhit and it will go out for a Motown throw-in. We hope everyone is enjoying tonight's presentation of FC Motown, as well as the MPSL East Region semifinals. We know you have so much to choose from on this summer Friday afternoon. So we're so happy you're with us if you are joining us on 11 Sports. Ball high up in the air, headed away by Voltaire. Only to Tomas again. The agents of Hale, the official supporters group of Hartford City, have moved to the other net now as Southern takes the ball down. Southern still fighting for it. And Voltaire bodied him off and allowed his goalkeeper to claim. Southern and Jake Williams, your two players to watch in the second half for the visitors, as they were really the offense in half number 1 for the visitors as Motown come upfield. Fala lays it behind. Run being made by Bermudez as the player goes down, 2 players down, and it's the visitors who come away with it. Handball That'll be a free kick going against Hartford City. Of course, you have to mention that it's Hartford City instead of just saying Hartford because of the USL Championship team that shares the same town or same area. As that ball will find Catania. Gets around his defender. Catania lays it off for Holland. Can't get it around, and the shot always off target from Cordero. That would have been a tough one off the bounce for Cordero to gather and get on target. First goal was a nice one from Chris Bermudez in the 3rd minute. Just made the run from the right side of the 18-yard box and slotted it past Fight. And then Bermudez turned provider for the Joe Fala 18th minute goal, which was really just a tap-in for Joe Fala, standing over 6 feet tall as a striker. I mean, Joe Fala, a Motown legend already in the couple of seasons that he has played in the NPSL. Ball over the top, over the head of Defont, but Southern, who retrieved it, was offside in the build-up. Would have been a good attack had Southern been onside. He's drifted on the shoulder of Motown's defenders for most of the night, and thusly been called for a couple of offsides as so much pressure put on Greshek, so much so that he forced a clearance out for a throw. Mark Grant, right in front of his team supporter group, couldn't hold on to the ball. And it's Max Barbodo trying to clear it away. And it's not often the ball is too tall for Joe Fala. Charlie Brooks bringing you tonight's game on 11 Sports. Backheel flick didn't work from Kieran Chandler. And Motown will get a throw in. You know, it's good seeing Joe Holland play in this game. He came out at halftime against Atlantic City in the conference final with a little bit of a knock, but healthy enough to start tonight. Although you do have to wonder if Chris Lemma, if and when he may be called into action. The goal of that ball was to switch it over to Franco Catania, although mishit by the Motown man, and the boys in white will come upfield with Tomas. Trying to build out the back and doing so pretty well, although Betcher couldn't hold on to it. That's a great ball to Southern. Takes the ball down the wrong way, chips the goalie, and equalizes the game. The chance looked like it was gone, but Evan Southern makes some magic, and not even Voltaire could stop that off the line. Greshek caught in no man's land as he came off to challenge. And then because he came out just enough, Evan Southern was able to chip the goalkeeper. That is a big goal for the James Madison redshirt senior and Evan Southern. Because all of a sudden, from down 2-0, Hartford City's back in the game at 2-2. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. This game is far from over as Fala was fouled. 2-0 within 20 minutes. And it looked as though Motown had full control. But never count out Hartford City in their second regional semifinal in 3 years as the champions of the North Atlantic Conference. Little contact between Bermudez and Chandler in the box. Barboda with the service. Headed away by the captain, Grant. Southern on the run again. And forces a throw in at least. He's just got so much energy and ability to run off the shoulder of defenders. Tomas. And it will go out for a throw-in. Long throw to Southern. And another throw. What can Motown do? A counterattack opportunity, although they couldn't get fast enough. And Hartford have gotten their defenders back into position as Catania just gave the ball away cheaply. And it's Jake Williams on the attack. Evan Southern offside. Gideon Ba and his coaching staff trying to find the answers currently. They've blown a 2-0 lead at home in the regional semifinal. Motown do have one sub waiting. Wanting to avoid extra time for the second straight game, especially with a tough matchup tomorrow. You really don't want to be playing 120 minutes before a 90 tomorrow. Samuel Niashidi in midfield. Motown with Holland. Good chance. Ball up to Fala. Links up with Bermudez. And that one might have been deflected, either that or just mishit. Yellow card has come out from the referee. Let's see who it's towards. Jake Williams and Samuel Niashidi. A lot of contact there, and it's Jake Williams who will pick up the yellow. And now the referee's coming over to the bench, and a yellow card is being shown towards the Motown bench. I'm not sure who was just shown that bench yellow card from Motown. But they will make their sub now, as Joe Holland will come off. An all-conference selection in the regular season from Joe Holland, but just never got going in tonight's game. As it looks like Chris Lemma is the player that is on the field, and that indeed who it is, the former Red Bulls 2 player. The service is a good one. Ball bouncing around. Voltaire hits it. It goes behind for a goal kick. Chris Lemma has had a pretty good summer himself for FC Motown, although second straight game that he is coming off of the bench, the former Red Bull 2 player. Second straight game he's coming on for Joe Holland as well. And you wonder if maybe there was something nagging Holland a little bit more than he would admit. Motown go quick. Bermudez. Pulled to the ground. No call, though. That, though, is called. Quick free kick taken. Hartford City, can they get the go-ahead goal? It'll have to come off the corner if it does come at this moment. Ball in, headed by Voltaire, and Motown can come on the counter if they want to. That's the question, though. Bermudez ran himself into trouble. So Motown have made one sub. A game which they once led 2-0, now tied 2-2. Lemma. Decent turn. Motown will get it away from the press. There's just really been nothing for Franco Catania tonight. Shut down by the Hartford City right back. Ball to Pompey, offside. That was close, but with 30 minutes left, the offside flag goes up against Motown this time.
Oh, yeah.
60th minute in this NPSL Eastern Region semifinal. Westchester United waiting for the winner of this one in tomorrow night's regional final. Jake Williams wanted to take it quickly, but was forced to wait a little bit longer. And this might be Hartford City just deciding to send bodies into the box, although they do take it short. Up to Southern, his cross in. It's cleared away by DeFont. Ball in, header on target. But Larson Richards couldn't find the back of the net as Greshek was there. Niyashidi was fouled. Ball up. Was looking for Bermudez, but headed away by Tomas. A show of extravagance from Evan Southern to tie this game, and it's anyone's game here in the second half. Motown take the ball away. Catania has a couple of runners in support. Chooses Fala. Defenders getting back. Fala's cross and a corner kick in favor of Motown as they will ready their second sub. Maybe Gideon Ba not too pleased with what he's seeing on the field, hoping that subs can be the difference as Lemma will go over to take this corner. One of the surprising decisions they did make was replacing Hermanis Achterkamp with Mike DeFont starting this game, although DeFont hasn't had a bad game per se. Corner in. And the header over by Voltaire. And a yellow card is shown to Joe Fala. who was on the ground. Follow with some words towards the referee after what he thought was a foul in the box. I mean, there definitely was contact as Follow was kind of taken out from underneath him, but in the eyes of the referee, it was not enough to warrant a penalty kick, as Cordero will be the player who is replaced. And another yellow card towards the Motown bench. I think that might have been Joe Holland, the player who was already subbed off, as Yusuf Chucheolu has come on. Referee is not letting any unkind words be said towards him, as that time taking the legs out from a player is a free kick. Of course, just joking by saying that. It's obviously different in the field versus in the penalty box. Jake Williams fighting with Voltaire. Voltaire wins the battle, and Motown can come away with it. So I wonder what Motown's formation is now, with Chuchelu, an attacker, coming in for Cordero, who is a midfielder. As this time foul is called against Hartford City for a little pullback on Bermudez. Things getting chippy between these two sides now that they're all tied up. Southern on the sideline finds a teammate. Betcher going back to Southern. He was offside again. Losing track of the amount of times that Southern has strayed offside. He's living dangerously on the edge of the defender's shoulders at all times. Niyashidi trying to help Motown take the lead right back after giving up the equalizer early in the second half. Bermudez. A goal and an assist to his name already. Ball over the top for Catania. Franco Catania kept from servicing the ball in. Still no ball into the box. Catania, though, picks it up. Catania, the shot deflected into the net! It does not matter how they come. It just matters that they do. And Franco Catania, not the cleanest of hits, but it's the go-ahead goal for FC Motown. Motown have twice seen a yellow card towards their bench, but it's a celebration to the bench after their go-ahead goal. They had a 2-0 lead, they blew that. Can they hold on to a 3-2 lead? As Samuel Niyashidi with the takeaway. Bermudez has Chuchelu with him. Decides to slow it down for Ashidi. Hartford City spent so much energy coming back from down 2-0. Do they have enough left in the tank to come back from down 3-2? Nice 1-2. And that's a yellow card to Catania. Very chippy as Catania goes from goal scorer to in the book with a yellow card and a matter of minutes. That's the 4th yellow card shown to FC Motown tonight. Might have been incidental contact between Catania and the defender, but the referee did not deem it so, as he gave the yellow card to Catania. 3rd substitution being readied by Motown. They've already used Chuchelu and Lemma. So the 3rd player will come on now that they have the lead. The first 2 subs were made when it was tied at 2-2. And let's see who comes out. Looks like Catania, the player that came out with that substitution, so maybe being a little cautious with the yellow card.
Well, it's new. It was the last 3 years.
I have not seen the number of who came on.
It's the same thing every year.
Ball towards Bermudez.
But that's only like one. It used to be just 3.
He wins it. Pompey towards Bermudez. A physical battle. And it's won by Hartford City.
But they said you could go 5.
Looks like it's Stefano Muniz who has come on for FC Motown. Muniz, who has missed the last couple of games for Motown, but active tonight on the roster and now getting some game action and maybe see if he'll have a chance to extend this lead to 4-2. Hartford City player down, but there was the foul first called for FC Motown, so it's the free kick Motown's way. Although Kieran Chandler also down for Hartford City after the secondary contact and Bermudez on the first contact.
Yeah,
20 minutes plus stoppage time left. FC Motown up 1 goal after blowing the 2-0 lead. Lemma, the service. Far end of the box. Voltaire heads it down. The shot saved by Fight. Couldn't tell who had that shot. It might have been Chuchelu. And there's another yellow card for, I guess, not allowing the goalkeeper to restart play quick enough to Mike DeFont. It's a yellow card fest for FC Motown. 2 have been shown to the bench. And now 3 have been shown to players on the field as there's a ball for Southern. Going up against DeFont. DeFont takes him down. A penalty kick. A chance from the penalty spot for Hartford City to equalize as Southern went down. And Mike DeFont just picked up a yellow card on the other end. I didn't see a second yellow, but it is a penalty kick and a chance to equalize again for Hartford City. Matthew McGonigal, Dave Greshek. A big moment in this match after DeFont commits the foul for the penalty. McGonigal scored 2 games ago against the Shockers from the spot, and he scores. No! It's off of the post and out! I thought he had it. He sent Greshek the wrong way, but he misses. It's off of the post. And it stays 3-2. Everything but the finish And the rebound miss as well. Wow. Hartford City making the sub now as Nathan Betcher has come off. McGonigal, the High Point senior, converted his penalty 2 games ago in the conference semis. Interestingly, a lot of words from Jake Williams towards the referee, but no yellow in that case. As Samuel Niashidi is down for Motown, and Motown are readying a sub. Both teams still having some words for the referee, who has been handing out yellows. No yellow cards shown to a Hartford City player so far, only to Motown players in the Motown bench. As Mike DeFont will come off now, and the referee is forcing him to come off on the near side, not letting him go to sub at midfield. As Hermanis Octerkamp will come in now. A tough minute for Mike DeFont. He picked up the yellow card, then he committed the foul for the penalty, but saved by the fact that the pen was struck right onto the post. Ball up to Southern, this time facing against Octerkamp, and as Southern fell down, he put that ball out for a goal kick. I was completely convinced that McGonigal had equalized this game. He sent Greshek the wrong way, but he hit it too far to his left. Juchelu loses the second ball battle, but Motown still with a chance. And there was some contact between 2 players there. There's more contact. And a free kick going the way of FC Motown. Looks like Tremaine Bryan was the player that came in earlier for Hartford City. Indeed, that is number 19. So finally able to confirm that was Nathan Betcher out. Tremaine Bryan in, the attacker, in place of an attacker. 15 plus stoppage time to go. A 1-goal lead. Ball into the box. Flicked on. No one there. And then the ball off of the goal line. Hermanis Octerkamp thought he had goal number 4 of the game, but it was saved by the Hartford City defenders off the line. As Motown will make another sub in the meantime, with Chris Bermudez slated to come out. Actually, it might have been saved by the goalkeeper off the line. But either way, it's a goal line clearance to keep this game 3-2 and keep Hartford City within reach. Still a corner kick, though. Far post. Headed down. And that ball, I guess, went out of play for another corner. Although, from this angle, it didn't look like it ever left play. Motown can't complain too much, though. That last sub, Chris Bermudez came out, and Zachary Perez, the player that came in. So Motown may be changing things up, going a little more defensive for the rest of this one. Corner from the far corner flag. Ball in. Header up. Still in the area. The shot by Chuchelu is high and wide. '78th minute. Motown holding on for dear life as this ball is over the top. Looking for Southern. Settled now by the attacker. Still on it. And now it's taken by Lema, and Motown will go the other way. Chuchelu to Barbodo, who's playing up front right now. Nice move. Oh man, Barbodo just broke some ankles. And then goes down after taking a little contact, although he got it off to Perez first. But unfortunately, too much contact for Barbodo. And Motown will put it out of play so the trainer can look at him. We have another yellow card out, and this time towards the Hartford City bench for this yellow card. Barbodo is back to his feet, luckily. Not sure who that yellow card was shown towards. All we know, it was towards a Hartford City bench member, as Joe Fala now is the next player to come out for FC Motown, or maybe not. They might change who this sub is coming on for, so Fala stays on. And we will wait and see who the player coming off will be at the next stoppage, presumably. Tomas for Hartford City. Forced backwards to Larson Richards, into his captain. And booted away by Ashidi. And that's a foul and a yellow card. That time for Stefano Muniz. So many yellow cards shown in this game by the referee. And if you think about it, Mike DeFont might have been a little bit lucky he didn't see a second yellow card. He had just picked up a yellow for not letting the goalkeeper restart play quickly. And then he committed the penalty. Indeed, Motown did change their substitution, as Fall is going to stay on. And Maximus Barbodo, after picking up that knock, will come out. Hopefully he will be all right, as well as Joe Holland, for tomorrow's regional final if Motown can hold on. 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Motown 3, Hartford City 2. A trip to the regional final and most likely a trip to the US Open Cup is on the line. Grashek will take that. No complaints from the Motown goalkeeper in front of a pretty pro Motown crowd, with the Agents of Hail, the Hartford City supporters group, probably being the loudest of anyone, though. Flicked on. Fala just missed the header. Motown get the ball back. They would love nothing more than scoring a fourth goal here as Pompey. Will this go out for a corner? No, it's cleared just for a throw-in. Taken very quickly. Chuchelu into Muniz, triple teamed, so he gets it out of his feet. And that was ambitious from Lemma. Right when this game ends, we should have the USA women's national team kicking off their Women's World Cup campaign. So we hope you stay tuned for the end of this one, and then maybe you can flip on that game as well as Southern wins a throw. Octocomp put it out. Southern back on it. That time punched out by Ashidi just for a throw. Tomas. Ball still sitting on the line, and it was just enough out of play. Sub being ready now for Hartford City as Mark Grant will give his captain's armband to Jake Williams, and he will come out. The Hartford City veteran. One of the older players on the squad is a Dominican University senior. Of course, given the captain's armband for a reason. And he did lead his squad for a really good comeback, although they have to do it again. Ball up. Motown never touched. Oh, yes, it was touched by Hartford City, so it's a throw-in for Motown. Clock is ticking. Even though Motown, you want to waste some time possibly, you also have to be aware of who's on a yellow card. As Octocomp settles it. Fala, the flick on, and it's just too far for a teammate. As Chuchelu was trying to reach Fala's ball. As of right now, it's Motown Westchester. A rematch of a classic Keystone Conference rivalry throughout the years. That could be your regional final tomorrow. Long throw into the box. Voltaire is there. Header wide. Great long throw by the Motown player, and Voltaire with the chance. Octocomp. That one out for a Hartford City throw. They want to take it quickly, and they will. Williams. Through the legs of a Motown player. And in the end, picked up by a Motown player.
Go, 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 go. Go, Joe, go.
Joe Fala finds a teammate. Overran the ball a little bit. Still on it though, goes down, penalty kick, this time for Motown. This could seal it. Who will take it though?
Ice it if you can make it.
A great run into the box.
No.
And taking it himself is Rodrigo Roca. Roca scored in the last game of the regular season. He scored in extra time in the conference final. Can he score from the spot? Yes, he does! Rodrigo Roca, a little hop and step in his penalty kick. Goalie goes the wrong way. and Motown have 1 foot in the regional final again.
Who's going to the U.S. Open Cup next year? Motown.
FC Motown's Rodrigo Roca goals in 3 straight games. And that one should seal it. The story of this game, penalty kicks. FC Motown made their penalty. Hartford City missed their penalty. And Motown looks like they will win this game due to it. Follow is offside, so that will be a free kick for Hartford City. Needing 2 goals in 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Hartford fans still loud, trying to will their team on to at least 1 more goal and trying to make things interesting at the end. But a Matthew McGonigal missed penalty. The difference right now is Motown commit another foul, and it was Stefano Muniz, who's already on a yellow, who was called for it and maybe just given his last warning before a red card. Nobody left on the bench for Motown. A couple of players on the field still on yellow cards. Tomas lays it off. Taken instead by Southern and kept in by a teammate. Southern tried to get back on it, and now here comes Motown with Roca. Roca and Fala in attack. The ball over to Fala. Right back towards Roca, although intercepted, and Fala wins a free kick. 90th minute. Motown up 4-2. And a chance just to kill some time. Maybe even make it 5-2. There's been fight all night from this Hartford City squad, as we've reached 90 on the clock in a 4-2 game, and it looks like this will be the end of the NPSL season for Hartford City. Maybe just the beginning again for Motown. Free kick right at Fight, who pushes it away. Pompey picks it up. Pompey's chip far post, headed away and cleared out by a Hartford City player. There's definitely been a lot of antics in this second half. There's been 2 penalties, a lot of yellow cards. So there might be a chunk of stoppage time left in this one as Lemma sets it up. Playing this ball around. On the ground, Muniz. Edge of the box. Motown still on it. The shot blocked. The rebound shot, over from Lemma. Westchester won pretty comfortably 4-0 over the Annapolis Blues earlier today. It's been all but comfortable for FC Motown, but a penalty goal by Rodrigo Roca and the go-ahead goal by Franco Catania, the difference in this one. Goal kick coming up for Hartford City. McGonigal is going to be thinking about his penalty for a long time, I'm sure. Fooled me into thinking that he had made it. Sent Greshek the wrong way. Motown will get the throw. Coached by Gideon Ba, and Spa has used his subs pretty well in this game. Of course, you want to save legs for tomorrow night. Westchester with the extra 3 or so hours of rest, having played the first game of the afternoon, which should hopefully be a pro Motown squad, but also hopefully a pro Motown fan base tomorrow night, as a double substitution for Hartford City. Evan Southern is coming out, as well as Kieran Chandler, and give a lot of credit to Evan Southern for the way that he played tonight. That spectacular goal to tie the game up at 2, but it's all for naught in the end. And that's the tough thing about this sport. You can score a spectacular goal, but your team still needs to hold on defensively, and they could not. As also coming out was number 6 of Griffin Tomas. So a triple substitution for Hartford City, as their season is minutes away from ending. Bringing on Colin Wright as one of their subs. We'll get to the others later, as Motown are on the attack again. And Motown wins another corner kick. Devin Jessup, one of the other subs. And earlier in the game, Tajuddin Salawu also came on for Hartford City. Motown should just take this corner kick short. They will. Wasting time in the corner. Although they almost bounced out of there with an opportunity.
Joe's trying to coach it. Joe's on a yellow.
Ball taken away. The shot wide from Mooney's. Good opportunity. Good job by Mooney's sticking with the ball, but that shot just went wide. And Hartford City can restart play from the back off the goal kick. Header won by Voltaire. Settled by Pompey, the 2 Haitian defenders for Motown. 2021, Motown went to the regional final, lost to Baltimore Christos. 2022, they hosted and they beat Appalachian for the East Regional. And this year, Motown back to the regional final, a meeting with former conference rival Westchester United, one of the club's biggest rivals in club history. And it all will take place tomorrow night. A great fight by Motown. They were up 2-0 after about 20 minutes. And in the end, they battled back from tied 2-2. A Catania goal, a Roca penalty goal. And Motown are back in the regional final in the East, which they will play in tomorrow night. Westchester opened the day with a 4-0 victory over Annapolis. Motown ends the day with a 4-2 victory over Hartford City FC. As I said in the first game, a huge prop to Hartford City for a fantastic season. Although they didn't win their conference in the regular season, they were the conference postseason winners. They showed a lot of fight tonight, and there's a lot to be happy about if you were a Hartford City player or fan after this one. But when you go up against the national champions, you have to play a full 90 minutes. And Motown were the team that played a full 90 minutes tonight. The missed penalty by Matthew McGonigal, the difference in this one. The final score once again, Motown 4, Hartford City 2. We hope everyone enjoyed tonight's presentation of FC Motown Soccer live on 11 Sports, as well as this whole afternoon of the NPSL Eastern Regional Semifinals. I will not be here tomorrow night, so we hope everyone enjoys tomorrow night's presentation. There'll be someone stepping in my place as the play-by-play announcer. So sing so long for this whole weekend of Eastern Regional Finals. I'm Charlie Brooks. Have a fantastic rest of your afternoon. Just because I'm gone doesn't mean you shouldn't come back tomorrow. 7 p.m. Motown, Westchester, the East Region. Who will be the champion? Who will have a chance to go to the national semifinals and maybe the national finals? You have to wait and see. Tomorrow night, live on 11 Sports. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your night.